Okay, so let me explain right now. I live in the United States, and I don't watch any BBC original programming outside of Wallace and Gromit. But I do know that a show called Jigsaw BBC had ended over 30 years ago to this date. And what I happen to be reading today might be a Lost series finale episode that had never aired. I'm not sure how to make heads or tails for this pasta. I mean, in this pasta, the last episode doesn't go too far down cliché territory. No blood and guts. On the other hand, the video itself seems very short, only merged with previous clips from the show and random pop-ups, but nothing that wouldn't seem plausible for the time. After all, anyone can splice footage with other pieces of video and add background screaming. Compared to something like Dead Bird, this pasta seems a bit more plausible to be real. Anyway, I meant to get this video done earlier, but due to life problems and whatnot, this video was pushed out of the way of production. But enough dabbling, let's start reading Jigsaw BBC so I can get done with my 1 year anniversary video, which I've been procrastinating on because of other life difficulties. The following entry is written by Alfred Wright. His whereabouts are disclosed at the moment, but he's willing to send me this in an email back in 2005. Per agreement, I was able to show it to the public. This is from Alfred Wright. I worked as a light boy operator along with the production staff with the BBC television series Jigsaw from 1979 to 1984, so I was present throughout much of the show's airing. Cleve Dog, now retired, was the director and writer. The show was hosted by Audrey Headley, a mime artist who performed several roles in the show, including a sinister character named Mr. Nosy Boink, who was seen with a prominent-nosed, toothy grin, opposite circular eyes. Nosy Boink always struck me as a somewhat frightening character, but I never openly opposed to the idea since I wasn't entirely in charge of the production. The show overall had a cheery mood and guided viewers in puzzle-solving skills, so the cast was mostly friendly and inviting. There was never a moment I had dreaded my job. On May 31st, 1984, I was invited back into the studio by Clark Andrew, the set designer. After some time, he coaxed me into the viewing room, despite the fact that full production of the show had ceased and most of the cast and crew were not packing up. He told me that he needed to air one final episode of the series before it was too late. I nodded, somewhat confused, but I did not question his motives. As usual, the screen started, the opening sequence began the episode, but by the end of the song, there was nothing but complete darkness. What's this? What's going on? Clark looked at me with a condescending stare and turned his attention back to the screen.
Do not question,
he responded. Suddenly, there appeared Nosy Bonk, playing miniature Garth. Footage from a previous episode, but the film had been corrupted and appeared shoddy and was converted into vintage black and white. I remained silent, as did the audio of the film, and continued to watch nervously. Oddly, however, the video stopped abruptly and the tape was ejected. Clark motioned me back outside, locked the viewing room, and greeted me a farewell. When he drove off, however, my curiosity got the best of me. I went back inside the studio through the front door and attempted to break down the viewing room door to no avail. One of the remaining cast members suddenly approached me from the corridor and offered to unlock it for me.
There you go,
she said.
Don't forget to lock it on the way out.
Now alone, I peeked inside and grabbed the tape on the topmost storage shelf. Before slipping into the VCR, I dusted off. I sat near the door in case I needed to make a brief escape. The film started once again as Clark had previously shown me, but it continued further after the supposed ending point. At this point, a faint humming began, but the film still remained quiet. The scene changed suddenly and showed Nosy Boink at a dinner table in a dimly lit room, a knife sitting along him on the table. Nosy Boink looked into the screen briefly before setting his head down at the table. The film remained this way for a good 30 seconds before it switched onto a new scene, in which Nosy Boink was now seen disproportionately hopping backwards in a sack. Another scene merged with it, but I could not make out what it was, except I could see Nosy Boink's mask. Murmuring began and some faint screams could be heard. A quick flash of one of the cast members' faces appeared before the film ended, and the tape ejected. I was relieved, but I sat idle in my chair for well over a few minutes. When I had mustered the strength to physically grab the tape, I tossed it into a bin nearby, ran straight out of the performance studio, and drove off into the distance. I never returned. Not once. not ever. I told my wife about the incident, but she was mostly skeptical. I have since decided to disclose information regarding the issue and have experienced what I could call a normal life. The episode was allegedly aired thereafter on a very obscure channel that was only available in localized areas, so as a result, it went relatively unnoticed. In 2009, a video containing the episode was uploaded briefly to YouTube, but was removed upon the next day. In an internet discussion in 1995, claims were made that an alternate version of the series altogether may exist. The proposed set designer, Clark Andrew, was reportedly one of the few who remained in the studio after each filming. Tapes labeled with particular codes were also said to be found in Clark's office, but were apparently discarded. He disappeared without a trace in 1985. Also, another corrupted episode was reported to have been uploaded to a media site under an MP4 file.